This is the question asked in today's skillrack daily challenge. So our task is to calculate the number of jumps required by the boy to cross all the stones. And there are also conditions given in the question that his initial jumping capacity is always equal to 1, and if he lands on a stone with odd integer, then his jumping capacity increases by 2, and if he lands on a stone with even integer, then his jumping capacity increases by 3, and if he lands on a stone which is a multiple of 9, then his jumping capacity decreases by 5, so minus 5. And the last condition is his jumping capacity never goes below 1, so always the minimum jumping capacity of the boy would be equal to 1. So these are the conditions given in the question. Now let us see our sample input. So this is the sample input 1, and initially the number of jumps will be equal to 0 and the jumping capacity of the boy will be equal to 1. And when he starts from the first stone is a even stone. So when he is on an even stone, it is given in the question that his jumping capacity increases by 3 and his current jumping capacity is equal to 1. So the current jumping capacity of the boy will be equal to 3 plus 1. So the jumping capacity will increase to 4. So now from 10 the boy can jump for 4 stones. So he will land at the stone 53. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is the fourth stone. So the jump value increases by 1, and he is currently at the stone 53, and this stone 53 is a odd stone, and as per the question, if he is on an odd stone, his jumping capacity increases by 2. His current jumping capacity is equal to 4. So since it is an odd stone, now it will be increased to 6, because 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. And from 53 now the boy can jump 6 stones, but there are only 2 stones left. So he will be able to cross all the stones in 2 jumps. So we are printing our output as 2. Now let us see our sample input 2. So this is the sample input 2, and initially the number of jumps is equal to 0 and the jumping capacity of the boy is equal to 1. So when he starts from the first stone, it is an odd stone, so his jumping capacity increases by 2. So 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. So now after jumping 3 stones, the boy will land at the stone 90. So the number of jumps is equal to 1 and the current jumping capacity will be equal to 3. And the boy is present at the stone 90. So this stone 90 is a multiple of 9. So as per the condition given in the question, if the stone is a multiple of 9, the jumping capacity decreases by 5. So 3 minus 5 will be the jumping capacity. But 3 minus 5 will be equal to minus 2. And it is given in the question that the minimum will always be equal to 1. So instead of minus 2, the jumping capacity will be considered as 1. So he will make a jump, so jump value is incremented. So from 90, the boy can jump 1 stone and move to this stone 45. So again this stone 45 is a multiple of 9. So his jumping capacity should decrease by 5. So 1 minus 5 will be negative. So since it cannot be negative, it is considered as 1. And again the boy will do a jump. So 3 jumps and the boy will now be at this stone 45. So again this is a multiple of 9. So his jumps increases by 1, and since it cannot be negative, we are again considering it as 1. So from 45 he will reach this stone 46, and since he has reached the end of the stones, the number of jumps he made is 4, and we are printing 4 as our output. Now let us see how to write a C program for this. So first I am creating a new integer variable n, and in the next line I am accepting the value of n, and then I am creating an array named arr of size n, and then using a for loop I am accepting the n integers and storing it into this array arr. So now we shall see the logic behind calculating the number of jumps. So to calculate the number of jumps, first I am creating 3 integers named jumping capacity and assigning 1 to it, because the jumping capacity is initially 1 and the boy always starts from the first stone. So I'm creating another variable named index and setting its value to 0, and initially the number of jumps will be equal to 0, so the variable jumps is also equal to 0. And now I'm creating a while loop with the condition index less than n minus 1. So this while loop will work until the value of index becomes greater than or equal to n minus 1. And in every iteration of this while loop, I'm checking whether the integer that is present at the current index of ARR is divisible by 9. So first we have to check whether the integer is divisible by 9. After that only we have to check whether the integer is odd or even. So first I am checking whether the number is divisible by 9. So if it is divisible by 9, then I am decrementing the jumping capacity by 5. And after decrementing the jumping capacity by 5, I am checking the value of jumping capacity. So after decrementing the value by 5, we are checking whether the jumping capacity is less than 1. But in the question it was given that the minimum jumping capacity must always be equal to 1. So whenever the jumping capacity goes below 1, I am making the jumping capacity to 1. So this is when the integer is divisible by 9. So if this condition is not satisfied, then we are going to check whether the integer is a odd integer. So if it is an odd integer, then I am going to increase the jumping capacity by 2, and if it is an even integer, then I am going to increment the jumping capacity by 3. So like this we will be incrementing the jumping capacity, and after finding the jumping capacity of the boy, we are adding it with the index. That would be the position of the boy after jumping with this current value of jumping capacity. So since he has made a jump, we are incrementing the value of jump in every iteration, and once when the index value becomes greater than or equal to n minus 1, this loop would stop working, and the number of jumps the boy made would be stored in the variable jumps. So finally we are printing it as our output. So now let us check our program with sample test cases. So now I have given the sample input 1 and our expected output is 2. So we are also getting 2 as our output. And now I have given the sample input 2 and our expected output is 4. So we are also getting 4. So this is the logic behind today's daily challenge. Thank you for watching.